Everybody already knows the United States is a deeply racist country, currently set up only for white men to succeed and nobody else. This is perfectly showcased in the lone discrimination between whites and blacks. According to a study conducted by the University of Tennessee, white-owned banks rejected only 9.4% of white applicants, but they rejected 16.7% of their black applicants. But is this correlation automatically proof that banks were discriminating against black borrowers? Were the banks that racist that they're willing to give up profit just so they wouldn't have to give loans to black people?
Here's what I have to say to that. Of course! Of course! Of course they were! Say it with me. Of course! One more time. Of course!
I, at first, at least entertained the idea that simple discrepancies might not be actually due to racial discrimination. The differences might be due to other variables that relate to the likelihood of an applicant repaying the loan, because banks do indeed only care about money. They don't care if the applicant is white or black. These variables include credit rating, income level, marital status, spouse credit rating and income level, money put down, number of children, job history, current debt level, home ownership, reason for the loan, or other variables that statisticians might overlook and not account for. But then, I didn't fall into this deceptive trap, because it has to be racism. You can't say there's no racism.
Just because there's inequality does not mean there was inequity.
But there has to be racism. You can't say there's no racism.
But there's even something else when we look at the study, and most people are completely ignorant of it. We already know that when the bank owner's white, they're racist. But we didn't know that when a black person owns a bank, they reject white borrowers at 13.8% and black borrowers at 38.4%. Yeah, you saw that right. It is not a typo. Black people are more racist to each other than white people are. I even made a racist graph showcasing this phenomenon, the rejection race gap between black and white. When it's a white-owned bank, it's only at 7.3, and when it's a black-owned bank, it's at 24.6. This means black banks are 3 times more racist. This is all racism right here, and pay no attention to the axes I changed to not start at 0 to make this difference look even bigger than it actually is. This phenomenon is commonly known by superior, intellectual, intersectional, feminist scholars like myself as internalized blackophobia. The Young Turks have already done a brilliant video showing how this phenomenon intersects into different aspects of society as well.
Both African American and white hosts discriminate against African American guests. So it's not just white people who discriminate against black people, it's also black people discriminating against black people. Because that poison of the stereotype is in the back of a lot of our heads.
There are actually some people, KKK member fascist bigots, that might not accept this ideology and disagree with me. They say it's so-called absurd, the concept of internalized blackophobia. These people are incredibly small-minded compared to progressives like myself that have the astounding ability to comprehend the intersectionality of institutionalized racism. Do not forget, we cannot blame their shortcomings on themselves. They simply do not have the logical capability to debate these complex topics on the same stage as forever rational and never baffled racial activists.
When does disparity not indicate racism?
Level of effort.
Statistical disparity. For example, overwhelmingly men commit crimes more than women, but we don't say that the Justice Department is sexist. So, is there a line that you draw for yourself, or is there some way that you interpret statistical disparity and you determine that that is not a racial disparity, it's something else? We can return to it. That's okay too.